Hey YouTube, just a quick video about the top 5 things about and to do in Clarksville, Indiana. Now, in Clarksville, it's a small town. It's only like 25,000 people, something like that. It's a river town, and it's kind of unique in the sense that it does have some really rich history that has to do with the entire United States. So, having said that, I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in. Now, the town was founded in 1783, and that makes it the oldest town in the Northwest America. And the original town was only composed of like 1,000 acres, and that was land that was set aside from the grant of the 150,000 acres the American legislature donated to George Rogers Clark and his men for their exploits during the Revolutionary War, which naturally leads us to George Rogers Clark. Now, George Rogers Clark, he was quite a guy. There's an actual book called Long Knife written about him. And he was very famous amongst the American Indians. The man was over 6 foot tall back when your average American male was about 5'8", 5'9". And he had red hair. And apparently it was very long, and sometimes he wore it in pigtails. If, some of the rumor and the mystery of history is correct. But he was originally a Virginian, and, he led like 200 men out in the Midwest to Kaskaskia, Illinois, places like that, where he actually attacked and conquered the entire area out there with almost no men. It was absolutely fantastic what he did, and he did it in the depths of winter. And his younger brother, William Clark, he led the Lewis and Clark expedition, or the Corps of Discovery, that actually, and it left from Clarksville, Indiana too, actually went all the way to the Pacific Ocean and mapped that country out as well as could be done. And then came all the way back, and what was amazing about that trip was they did the entire trip with, I think, under 30 or 40 or 50 guys, and it took a couple of years to do, and they only ever lost one guy. And so, yeah, a lot of rich history from the Clark brothers, So it's also one of the interesting things about Clarksville, beyond that, is it's home of the Colgate Clock. So, yeah, the Colgate Clock. This is the second biggest timepiece in the world. Now, here the last few years, I'm sure that we'll keep the Colgate Clock. At least I hope we do. But it's lit at night. If I'm not mistaken, it's 40 feet across, according to what I've read. It's lighted, and you can see it from over a mile away. And it has been there since I can remember. You can see it from Louisville, Kentucky, and you can see it from the north from about 1.5 to 2 miles away. It's even a bright glowing blob from several miles away up on Floyd's Knobs. But yeah, that is it's kind of like a landmark here in the area. You mentioned to anybody the Colgate Clock, they know exactly what you're talking about. Then we've got the Falls of the Ohio, the Interpretive Center. And you can actually go in the museum down there, and it's a round building. It's really cool to look at. They've got a lot of displays inside. It's like I said, it's a museum, and they have some pretty cool stuff. There are skeletons, things like that in there. And it's home of the oldest exposed antediluvian fossil beds in the world. And they're from the Devonian period. You can actually go down there and tour it, stuff like that. And you can also go outside to the Falls of the Ohio State Park, and this shows you the area from the outside of the buildings. Like I told you, the building's round. But it's very interesting to go down there. You can hike down there. You can fish down there. There is a big nature trail. You've got the Interpretive Center, and it's right on the Ohio River. It's just a great place, and especially to take kids. Very interesting. Very cool to see inside the museum, everything that's in there. I think there's a giant mastodon skeleton in there. That's very, very cool. But I've been there several times, and I used to fish down there on the river every spring. The water generally drops down after mid-April to early May, and you can get in there and you'll catch the fish coming up river, spawning, a lot of them. And the fishing's really good. During the summer, a lot of people go down there and they catfish, and they catch some big catfish. The McAlpin Locks and Dam is down there. I've personally been standing there when a guy caught like an 80-pound blue catfish, and it was absolutely fantastic to watch him fight that thing in. We do have another small park named Lapping Park. Let me type that in. We'll see if we can get a look at it. And Lapping Park is a small park. There's not really a whole bunch to it. There's a golf course and some other things out there. Of course, seeing's believing. I always like looking at the pictures when I'm checking out an area. But yeah, Lapping Park, and one of the I think that's Silver Creek that runs through it. Yeah. So you've got that. So like I said, it's got a golf course. It's got some basketball goals, other places to do sporting events. It's got your typical covered enclosures and things like that. But yeah, and beyond the 5 interesting things here in southern Indiana's Clarksville is the school system and just the general public vibe. It's very down to earth. It's very rural, small river town. We've got Jeffersonville to the east of us, and we've got New Albany to the west of us, and we've got Memphis and Henryville and Sellersburg to the north of us. All around, great area to live, and right across the river is what's considered a medium-sized American city, which would be Louisville, Kentucky, which is the true hub to the area. Generally, when people around the nation ask somebody like me that's from Clarksville, where are you from? We say the Louisville area. That way, geographically, they know what we're talking about. Because if we tell them Clarksville, they don't know where Clarksville, Indiana is. It's not like you said Indianapolis. So there you have it. Top 5 things to do and that are about Clarksville, Indiana. Thank you for watching the video. God bless and have a great day.